places in America, one of the great monuments. I'm about to go inside and check it out with you. Boom. This is Rushmore National Memorial in Mount Rushmore, South Dakota. And I am live and streaming here on RedDawn Media as I take you through and show you the grand site. It's my second time to Rushmore. First time 34 years ago. I'm just doing like a handheld right now. There you see it. I'm going to try to get some interviews too. And hopefully everything is going alive and well here on the RedDawn Media channel on this July 4th, 2026. America's 250th in South Dakota. It's the Information Center. I'm just outside, and they have all the flags of the states. And then right beyond that, as you look at Rushmore up there, see just how rad that is.
I'll take it for you.
Is the stage. Right below, right past these stone monuments and the flags, which you can see in the distance. I'll zoom all the way in. Is the stage where Donald Trump was doing a speech last night, and they had beautiful fireworks. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get in because they gave 2,000 tickets away, and you enter the pool, and there's millions of people, so I was not a lucky winner. And got to see the fireworks literally from the back end of George Washington over here. But you can see it is packed. It's hot at Rushmore today. Red, white, and blue. Displayed predominantly from everywhere. And this is the Information Center. So you see you can begin your journey here at the Information Center. The Lincoln Borglum Visitor Center, Sculptor Studio, evening lighting ceremony up against 9 p.m. Illuminates at 9:30. Junior and Rushmore Ranger programs, roads and trails. As we walk up here, and we see Mount Rushmore. As it again is America's 250th. Wherever you may be.
Love your shirt. Thank you.
In this great country. Hope you're enjoying your day. Taking a road trip from Chicago. Started in South Florida. No, not with a Volkswagen. Somebody abandoned their Volkswagen Passat on the side of the road. There was a good amount of traffic, about 12 minutes or so driving in. But anyway, started the road trip in Chicago via plane from South Florida. Went to Fargo. After a couple days in Chicago, which was awesome, saw Wrigley Field. Plenty of Vienna hot dogs. And Chicago treats. Got to walk the Magnificent Mile area, the river, all the different parks like Millennium Park. Flew to Fargo. Fargo is pretty cool. Beautifully clean, traditional American city. These are all the Rushmore workers that have been honored. You see there on that wall. All those people from 27 to 41. It was constructed. The heads of the 4 presidents, 60 feet high. Drove across North Dakota, went to Bismarck, into South Dakota. Saw all kinds of stuff along the way. I'll talk about it. Here I am on Rushmore, at Rushmore, on the 4th of July. Great American road trip. Touched in Montana, crossed Montana and North Dakota off states I needed to see. 43, 44 respectively. No, 44 and 45 respectively. I have 5 more left. As you can see, what it looks like from the back, and I'll flip it around so you can see me here and Rushmore in back of me. How beautiful it is. As I show you the backdrop, do a little reporting here. I'm going live on RedDawn Media, streaming Mount Rushmore here in South Dakota. I'll show you more of the Rushmore than me. I think that's what you want to see. I'm going to try to stop, see if I can ask some folks some man on the street questions. So just try to break it down here and do the live stream. I've shot, oh God, hours and hours of video. Taken probably 1,000 or so stills. I got a new vlogging camera called the Osmo Pocket 4 dialer. And Osmo Pocket 4, not dialer. Osmo Pocket 4s. I'm looking at News Nation. They're doing a live drop. That's them right there. So I had a vlogging camera, a cell phone camera, the Canon digital professional camcorder. I had that going. Everything. To film this trip that will be on RedDawn Media for the whole summer. These are all the respective states the flags, of course, represent. Florida's back that way, my state. States and the territories, like the Virgin Islands, are represented here. Wyoming, Wisconsin. Before I went to the side over here, and I'll show you the stage I was talking about. And that's where Trump spoke, like I said. I'll go over there in a minute. Again, I'm Matt Levine. It's RedDawn Media, red, white, and blue. Straight bill cap. As you can see, I'm broadcasting live right in front of Mount Rushmore. How can you beat this? This is just a tremendous, tremendous atmosphere on the 4th of July, the nation's 250th. Let me shoot you back around to the presidents. From left to right. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln. In Roosevelt, I went through Medora, and that's where they just opened officially today, the Teddy Roosevelt Museum. Medora, North Dakota, right here, right near the border of South Dakota. And President Trump was there before he was here last night, speaking at a commemorative ceremony to basically cut the ribbon, open the new museum, which again officially opens today, but there's been all kinds of dignitaries and events there throughout the weekend. Pretty cool, like man-made cowboy town. But I found Keystone, which is ultra cheesy and touristy. That's here in South Dakota to be the funnest of all. Let's I'm gonna walk to the side over there where I was. You gonna be here?
I'll probably float around. I might go inside to the theater.
Okay.
Down below.
All right. I'm gonna walk over there. Wait, you're gonna go now?
What's that?
You're going now?
I'll wait for you if you want to.
All right, wait 5 minutes. I'm gonna go down here, speaking to my buddy, what I call RD, camera name for RedDawn. Been on the road trip with. Just can't get lost here. I mean, despite knowing where the car is, you know. No, I didn't put the string on the car antenna or a tennis ball, right, to know where the car is. But this is pretty cool. I thought the side drop here, and I'll show you. I went all the way down before. You can kind of see how cool it is. Just how amazing that monument, that statue is. Everyone taking their pictures, of course. Yeah, President Trump. I will show you. He was basically there last night. That's where he spoke. You can see that, but it's a stage. And that's exactly where President Trump was speaking. Right there. Last night, 2,000 people were here. And I'm sure they have other events going on, as you see. Rushmore. It's just so rad over here. Quite the crowd. Oh, sorry. Hot, sunny. And there you can see the flags from the back end. So I'm just walking around with the handheld, that little fuzzy thing too. I may put on because it's just so easy. All right. Which way?
What's up?
Which way you want to go?
Let's go back and take the elevator back
All right. Take the elevator. Is there there's a show in that theater
Same direction.
with the Lincoln
This
guy?
one held his hand too. They have a car.
Oh, the presidential trail's closed. So you can go down there, but I think they probably have, like I said, dignitaries coming. Another dedication there. So, see you in a minute, guys. Go down and take a look at these guys. It may be tough to do a little man on the street because it's so damn hot in the sun and people are walking around just taking all their pictures. So it's human traffic. It's like bumper cars in the heat to get the best picture. I wonder out of all the pictures you'd see. I mean, this is down below from where I sat. I can walk down and you can see where Trump spoke, which is pretty neat. Pretty close, and then you just get a good scoop up here and you see another little look of how beautiful that is, and the trees down here, all these big pine trees. Oops. Just like I said, a lot of human traffic. Now they do have some kind of theater, and they had the most realistic Abe Lincoln looking person I ever saw in that theater before, doing like impersonation. Hold on. So anyway, streaming from Mount Rushmore for a little bit. I've got so much footage, haven't done any streaming on this whole entire trip, but felt like doing it. We've got this DJI camera, the little fuzzy thing, stick it into mic holder, so it's not, thank you sir, traditional mic, but holds on. We're gonna go into the theater right now and see if we can see one of their exhibits. Like I said, they had an Abe Lincoln impersonator. Whoops, that was pretty cool. Oh, okay, you can see the exhibits, but I thought we were going to the theater, which is even better. So I'll show you some exhibits and show you around at the Mount Rushmore National Memorial acknowledges the following persons and institutions for their assistance. Lincoln on Lincoln, a worker in the box cage in Lincoln watching 1939 state baseball tournament. That's pretty cool. There you go. Into here, of course. This looks pretty neat. The sculptor. I try to say his name. Gutson Borglum. 58 years old when he began designing Rushmore in 1925. There he is. Goes on to give you a full description of all the artifacts and whatnot. Commemorative rifle. Golden anniversary celebration above 1991 Rushmore anniversary.
50 years ago, brave Americans completed this monument in 4 great days.
Mount Rushmore since completion, so I'm kind of going backwards chronologically.
And a daring worthy of our nation. When the great producer-director Cecil B. DeMille described it,
The timeline. Early register transactions, unliquidated encumbrances and available funds. Their general ledger. Says fundraising was monumental task. Borglum promised the entire project could be raised, funded privately. Charles Rushmore kicked in $5,000 to help things get underway. And the name lives for infamy on this great structure, worth $5,000. Roosevelt's 9-car train speeding to Black Hills. President's special due in the city at 6 p.m. Gala throng waiting. Just like that. President Trump, one of the legendary presidents with that guy right there, visiting. And it shows you chronologically how it was built. And of course, like I do in all museums, I'm just all over the place, but whatever. Professor Walter Long, hired as a refiner of expression appointed by sculptor Borglum to define and perfect the facial features on the presidential sculpture. See all the work, scaffolding that went into that sucker. Zoom in a little bit. Recreation to the bust. Different tools they used. Oops. Dynamite charges. Explains how much they did every day. A log. Borglum did not initially intend to use blasting as Mount Rushmore. At Mount Rushmore's initial proposal, he had said, "I shall use no explosives." But obviously that changed. Jackhammer. Different bits. Drills. See a little bit more. Dynamite box. Bust. Pretty neat. Videos talking about the sculpting. Bounce around the corner here, see what they got. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me, sir. That's again Borglum. I already read that. Around this corner, the meaning of Mount Rushmore. The 4 American presidents carved into the granite of Mount Rushmore were chosen by the sculptor to commemorate the founding growth, preservation, development of the United States. They symbolize the principles of liberty and freedom on which the nation was founded. George Washington signifies the struggle for independence, birth of the republic. Thomas Jefferson, the territorial expansion of the country. Abe Lincoln, the permanent union of states. Equality for all citizens. Theodore Roosevelt, 20th century role of the United States in world affairs and the rights of the common man. Amen. This is pretty dope here. All about each. President Washington, 1732, 1799. And so Jefferson here, 43 to 1826. Tells you all their accomplishments. including that Declaration of Independence right there. And Mount Rushmore dedication flag, as you see Lincoln in the backdrop. TJ right there. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. And among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Thomas Jefferson, Declaration of Independence, July 4, 1776. Swing back to Lincoln. 1809 to 1865. Assassinated. That is pretty cool. Let me zoom out a little bit. LinkedIn down to Theo, walking over here around these folks. Read your quote. It is rather for us to be here, dedicated to the great task remaining before us. And from these honored dead, we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people shall not perish from the earth. Abraham Lincoln, Gettysburg Address, November 1863. And there's TR. So much of this country, this part of the country, dedicated to him. 1858 to 1919. Westward expansion. Battle of Little Bighorn. American troops departed for Cuba, 1898. Rough Riders at San Juan Hill, Panama Canal. Unbelievable ability to see beyond America and the presidents. Being a president, the presidents America could have as the superpower in the world. He had a premonition. Thomas Jefferson. Talk about the Louisiana Purchase, Lewis and Clark Expedition, the War 1812, coming of age, a slavery issue, Mexican War. All his trials and tribulations. Back again to Washington. Everything starts and ends with the Declaration of Independence, if you ask me. But that's what this is all about at Mount Rushmore in South Dakota on this special day in America, July 4, 2026. Take a look at the centerpiece here of this really cool sculpture, model inside of the sculpture, all the excavation, digging, aerial view of the work site at the base of Mount Rushmore. Power plant located in nearby Keystone supplied power to run the compressors and operate the tramway. That's so cool. You can get inside the museum here. Just kind of checking it out. A little stream on the RedDawn Media channel for the 4th of July at Mount Rushmore. Just talking about my trip and how cool it's been. Enjoying every bit of it. Look at the guys at work being monitored. You have to be one crazy SOB to hop on a scaffold with cable harnesses holding you. That looks like a lunch break, right? Oh, cool. Try to go in the theater. Just like I said, they had this really outstanding Abe Lincoln impersonator. He looked literally like Abe Lincoln. So I'm going to go in the theater and check it out. Oh, it's a movie? I'll wait outside. How long's the movie? I don't know. About time. I'll wait for you. 30 minutes? Thank you. Yeah, I can't do the movie. Movie's a half an hour. So, I know it's air conditioning inside, but one thing at the museums I can't do, the movies. I'm gonna go walk outside and just show you a little bit more of Rushmore, chill out, and continue to do a stream. And my buddy went inside, but I want to tell him. You gonna watch a movie?
Just a little bit.
All right. I'll be in.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna plop this camera down. I'm gonna stream for you. And enjoy Rushmore. Just talk about America. Can't beat that, man. I'm gonna get some sun too. I'm gonna put this mic down, and you can see I got what I'd call the absolute best spot in the house. Let me put this down. Situate. This gimbal has a really nice. So you can see. That's what I'm talking about. Whoops. That's what I'm talking about. Give me one more sec. I'm going to put on this guy here. I'm going to put this handheld away. Just going to click this on me so I can blah, blah, blah. All right. One sec. There we go. I believe I am solid. So it's a little fuzzy here, and I'm parched. So excuse me. I gotta get some water on my lips. But the little lavalier mic goes into this holder. And the plan was to get some man in the street, but it's so hot. Like I said a little while ago, it's really hard. Get man on the street, I think, because everyone is snapping pictures, and it is extremely hot. But I'm going to try in a minute. But I just wanted to sit here while my buddy goes. He is watching the movie, and I said I'm going to come out here. I'm going to put the tripod down. I'm going to put all my junk away, which isn't junk. Some good stuff in this bag, I think. I have been shooting non-stop for like a week. I have so much content that I didn't have time to edit any of it, but a lot of it is timeless content, including material from museums, Fargo, and seeing the Black Hills yesterday, taking all these crazy drives and just going through the Badlands. And as I stuff my bag away, I'm going to flip around so you can see this. That's what it's all about. Right there. Center that sucker up right there. That's it, man. That is America. So what do I remember about the first bicentennial? Not much. Other than some of the memorabilia growing up. Bells, plates. I remember, seeing stuff into my first memories right after the bicentennial in the late 70s, and growing up and seeing the commemorative stuff more than the actual bicentennial. I was 3 years old. But it's kind of like the Knicks. Knicks win a championship. And now I remember that. Last time they won a championship, I was 3 months old. Now it's 4 months old. I'm sorry, it's 3 months, 3 years old on the bicentennial. It's 3 months old when Knicks won the championship. In other words, I didn't remember either. But we get to America's 250, and weeks ago the Knicks win their first championship since then. So I got to see some cool things in the last month. Of course, one different than the other, but both memorable. And part of my heart is with either. Basketball, a lot different than America. President Trump was here last night.
Okay, that's probably good.
And I've only seen snippets of the speech, but we are certainly at Mount Rushmore for you folks. We center that beautiful, beautiful shot. I'm going to zoom in. Try to get a little zoom out so you can kind of see it. Right there. How rad is that, right? Try something else. A little bit higher here. So you just enjoy it and see what's doing up there at Rushmore. But yeah, we are living in some times right now where you have complete chaos about to ensue, I'd say, in the Middle East. We will not be pushed around by Iran with this guy in office. And I think there's a lot of posturing going on with the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. They're going to dilly-dally like they've been for 47 years, stab you in the back, say one thing, do the other, same old, same old. So you got a problem that needs to be terminated, extinguished soon. Got the midterms, you got communist building in this country, communism in different sectors, areas, mostly rad left blue cities. So that's scary and dangerous. More so than ever, you got rise in anti-Semitism. You got exorbitant costs, despite the economy and the stock market doing well, but gas is way too high. That's attributed back to what's going on in the Middle East. So you've got a lot brewing right now, but I do believe in our president. I always have. And I believe the back end, the best is yet to come, as Sinatra says. He was here last night, preaching a lot of that in his own eloquent way. We talk about a gift of the gab and someone who is a non-stop energizer bunny. Well, that's President Trump. I have never seen a president with the ability to travel, bounce around. He's nearly 80 years old, like a 25-year-old. And the week that this guy has, he was in North Dakota Thursday doing the commemorative opening speech for the Teddy Roosevelt Museum in Medora. Bounces back to D.C., taking care of business and all the fronts I talked about, and many, 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 many more. As Washington celebrates America's 250, they open up the National Mall. And then he comes back here for the speech last night, right in front of me, right where you're looking at. I mean, President Trump. Probably about a 75-yard football pass right there, a Hail Mary pass away. And he's right there talking about all that's going on and blessing America in this special place. And then he's back right after and enjoying America's 250 today in D.C. That's just in half a week. He's nonstop. And of course, when he slips in around at golf, the rad left and the mainstream media, quote, end quote, fake news. We freak out about President Trump doing this and that, and you know the drill. Now lower this just a bit. It's so cool. There's too many people before. I mean, there are so many people there, and it's so hot, but here, I'll show you in back of me. Again, I'm Matt Levine with the RedDawn Media swag, busting it out. And I am at a very hot Mount Rushmore. Beautiful sunny day. The sky is a lot clearer than it was yesterday, but yesterday was pretty damn clear. Here, take a look at Rushmore again. I don't want to focus on me too much. just for contrast, but it's about that. That's what it's all about right there.
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore
Well,
in the distance. But yesterday, early in the morning, 10:30ish, I went for a helicopter ride. Black Hills Incorporated helicopters. They do, I think, the majority of the rides around here. There's a few companies, but they seem to have offices everywhere I look. I went through Hill City. I saw their office. Keystone, saw their office, and then their helicopter pads in their main building, and they have a really cool building. I can't think of the Aviator show back in the 90s. They did it with this little airport that serviced Cape Cod. I forget the name of that show. But if you remember the show as a sitcom, I think it was on NBC. That's what their home base looked like. They had a coffee shop in there and all kinds of gifts. It was really nice. It looked like a ski lodge. But they run the helicopters all day, and they do the tours, and I did a 15-minute tour, and they do 2 passes by Mount Rushmore, and it was nice and sunny out yesterday and clear, but not as clear as today. And today's not 100% clear, but pretty close. It's just, you can see just sky above, sky above there, up Rushmore a little bit, and it's a beautiful sky. Pan left, see all the pine trees in the Black Hills. Pan right to me on my side of it. See the stage here and what's going on. Take you around, show you the facility. That's the museum, Lincoln Museum, Visitor Center. Back end, Lincoln Borglum Visitor Center. Of course, Borglum, the main sculptor. From 26 to 41, it was sculpted. Rushmore was the gentleman who funded it for $5,000. That's what I learned in the museum, amongst other things. But yeah, I'm just having a chance to kind of fire away. And I was talking about earlier, just this tremendous road trip. Start by airplane going to South Florida to Chicago. Got to knock out Wrigley Field. Got to see the Willis Tower, which is formerly a Sears Tower, Willis Building. Highest building in North America. Outstanding. You get this observatory deck, and it's like a glass bottom where you're 125 floors up. Your ears pop. And from there, just walk around the city, enjoy hot dogs, pizza, all kinds of junk food. Chicago, local, delicious. And then went from Chicago. On the way out, stopped by this great place, Luke and Sal's, Sal and Luke's, outside the airport at O'Hare, known for their hot dogs. Oh my goodness. I think it's Luke and Sal's. I have to look it up. I'm sorry, I forgot. They're so good. I shouldn't forget the name, but for $4.95 you get this huge Vienna beef hot dog with French fries. Handmade fries that they're just slice them right in front of you and put those, a big handful on this hot dog, less than $5. Just delicious. Got 2, but only 1 I can eat with all the French fries. And of course, great drink from the fountain. Had to get that. So I enjoyed Chicago and I enjoyed a great meal on the way out. And then from there to Fargo, North Dakota. Flight was short. Fargo, beautiful airport. Small town, clean as a whistle. Everything is clean, maintained. Beautiful traditional neighborhoods. Remind me somewhat of the East Coast. Heavy presence of, I would say, a lot of veterans and just good down-home love for America. When I say clean, everything's power washed. There's no trash. It just looks really pristine. Cool Main Street, old strip of bars and restaurants, and some old churches. Cool sculpted architecture from like back in the Depression era. And then from Fargo across North Dakota, see all kinds of beautiful different country, and change in topography from hills to kind of canyons, flat plains where Fargo was, to Bismarck mostly. Stopped, saw a couple of museums, dinosaur museum, a place called Bonanzaville, an old West town, cheesy, hokey, but all fun. Saw the world's biggest bison. That was awesome. I'll be doing videos of everything for like all summer and putting them up. I've got so much video and photos and whatnot. I'll load those here on the RedDawn Media channel. And from there, it was on to South Dakota. I spent the night in Bismarck. Actually, Bismarck is cool. Enjoyed Bismarck a lot, like Fargo, but a little bit newer. Really cool city. From Bismarck to South Dakota I went. Been here at Rushmore, staying in a cabin in the woods. And enjoying Keystone, enjoying the Black Hills, Hill City. And then today, here I am at Rushmore on July 4th on the RedDawn Media channel, streaming, sitting in the amphitheater and just talking away. Yeah, I'm gonna go down a little bit more, show you a little bit closer to the stage. Let's see how we can get. Just having a good time, enjoying myself, doing a little bit of a stream. In the bag of equipment, tripods, cameras, and all this stuff. And if you forget something, you have to go to Plan B, and that's it. Adapt and overcome. Like a dork, I forgot the rechargeable batteries today. But hey, that happens. I'm going to sit in the stands. I'm about, I said before, about 75 yards away, I said, from where Trump was yesterday before. Now I'd say I'm about, we did 60-yard field goal. Man, look at that. Sitting in the wooden bleed, well, they're fake wood. Synthetic wood, makes sense. Synthetic boards, last forever. And I'm just literally talking to anyone that's listening. Just streaming here on the RedDawn Media channel. And I see Mud and Munitions. Mud and Munitions. What up? And of course, Mud and Munitions does so much great stuff online on RedDawn. On YouTube, you can find this station. And happy 4th of July to you. Eminem, Mud and Munitions, back in Yonkers, New York. All right, give me 2 slices. What's up, Mud and Munitions? This is dope, right? I mean, Mount Rushmore is so close to me that I just want to hug it. And that's what I said yesterday when I was in the helicopter. I just want to jump out and hug the damn mountain monument because it is so beautiful. I don't take anything for granted now. If you see Lincoln right there, it's hard to really zoom in for you. Let's see. You see Lincoln to the right, and you kind of see, if I can go in, to get any closer than that, that's about it. But Lincoln to the right, they say there's a door to the right of his ear. It's really hard to see. But there's a door so they can, there's some maintenance up there. I guess there's a way of clearing out some of the rainwater that gets trapped. And they say above kind of Washington, or there's a groove in his left ear, which would be on the screen the right ear, to have rainwater wash down. So in other words, there's drainage and a little maintenance slot and a door there to get some work done for maintenance, which is, I'm sure, absolutely never ending at Mount Rushmore, right? Gotta keep this sucker beautiful and pristine. Look at that. Just kind of leave that for you. And that look. I can close my big mouth and just stream that, and that is good enough. Isn't it, America? What a country, man. and woman. What a country. I figure I'm a miracle, you know? My grandmother survives. She had a big family. She's one of a few that survived the Nazis in Auschwitz. Comes to Ellis Island for the American dream. Able to accomplish that. And then, you know, I'm the byproduct of her children, who were the byproduct of her American dream. They're the roots, and here I am doing the best I can and celebrating this great country that gave her a life and promise after seeing such a disparity and, you know, the real genocide, unfortunately, in Europe. But here I am, and I'm sitting here. I'm blessed, fortunate to sit right in front of this incredible monument from left to right. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln. Now, just for shits and giggles, whoa, as the gimbal is saved by, I just made an incredible catch because all of a sudden the wind just picks up. But anyway, I'll try to keep it a little lower so it's more stable. But if you look here and you kind of come to the end, right, and you see up there towards the end. Now what I'm thinking is next to Washington's a nice little slot for Donald J. Trump. Probably Trump style would be at the very, very end. You'd probably blast a T next to his bust. But hey, I was saying to my buddy who's with me here, I'm sure he was telling his people the other day, get it done. It's gonna be huge. Meaning, I want my bust up there. Start blasting, start sculpting. Whatever it takes. Don't be surprised, because what Trump wants, Trump gets. And that's just the reality of it all. Because I stream live here on the RedDawn Media channel. And again, Muddy Munitions, my lone fan as I'm looking to get fans in here and viewers. This is a hard day to get some viewership. But the beauty of doing all this is the video lives in infamy forever. But I'm just having fun, man. Talking about what it means to be an American to me, my road trip, hanging. I bypassed on the movie. And the good thing is with my buddy, just ask him. I'll tell you the whole movie. I tell him, give me 3 sentences on the movie and that's it. After this, it's what they call in baseball last licks. Shoot a little bit more B-roll on the way out. We've got a great spot in the parking lot. I mean, it just looks at this sucker right up here beautifully. And I'm gonna shoot some B-roll. Maybe go check out Rapid City, which is about, 17 miles. I'm 1.5 miles from Keystone. There's not much to, not a lot to offer in terms of, you know, the typical souvenir shops and kiddie arcades and ice cream stops and a couple of saloons. And that's 1.5 miles from the cabin I'm at. But outside of that, you've got to go to Rapid City where I'm flying out of. And that's like 17, 20 miles. So you're in the woods for sure. Kind of see if you look to the right, up like in that area. I'd wonder where. No, but there. I've been told there's mountain lions. But I wonder what other types of reptiles, small animals there are. I've seen some really cool prairie dogs on this trip. Saw an incredible bull yesterday. Lots of livestock, black cows, brown cows, but I did not see any bison. I was hoping to see, you know? Bison roaming free, but I did drive through multiple spots on, I shouldn't forget this, the Custer Highway. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna put up so much footage on the RedDawn channel here. I've got, like I said, the whole summer to edit, but the Custer Highway is just sick. I'm supposed to see a lot more wildlife than I did, but there's these little tiny like roads that you can barely fit one car right, one on the left, and then sometimes you have to take, you know, turns. There's only room for one car to go north to south. It's just like becomes a one-lane highway, and then there are a couple of tunnels where your car, I mean, by the skin of your teeth, by a fingernail, just fits through. And that was pretty amazing. I think there were 3 different bridges like that, or overpasses, carved into the mountain. Small, probably about 50 yards. Not very long, but that's a neat experience. And the roads are just tight and winding, some 15, 25 miles an hour at tops, where you're right on the edge and you're doing these kind of hairpin swirl turns. And then you pull over and you see these canyons like you do here, but just more pronounced, and then just these ridiculous clusters that make you think this must have been something millions and millions of years ago when the dinosaurs roamed, when it was their world. Because that's what I keep on thinking of. I learned another thing that I remembered through my life. I can't read and pronounce any dinosaurs outside Brontosaurus. After that, I give up. But I did get a full education or crash course into dinosaurs, and a lot of stuff was just kind of refreshed from going to other museums. But it's been a minute since I've been in a dinosaur museum, so I enjoyed that. And that was again outside of Bismarck that I went to, the dinosaur museum. But going to a dinosaur museum in this part of the country, in the Great Plains, is like going to a pizzeria in the New York tri-state area, meaning they're everywhere. So I guess I went to a good one. I don't know. I'll do video on that too. And it's amazing how I went in waves. When I was in the Midwest, I didn't see anything until I got out of Chicago, which isn't surprising, where I saw a lot of patriotic bunting like you see on that stage in front of me over there. You see up on the stage, right? You see the bunting? Or the 250 commemorative flag by the lights over there. I didn't see a whole lot of it in Chicago. Okay. So more pride stuff, but that's a par for their course in that city. But Chicago was outstanding. Clean, in the tourist spots at least, and safe. I had a good time. I got in and out, and nothing but any good things to say. Anything bad. The only thing I would say is that I just noticed there wasn't a hell lot of patriotic stuff up to commemorate 4th of July, let alone the 250th, until you got out of the city and you got near the airport. North Dakota, completely different. Everywhere. South Dakota, everywhere. Trump stuff, everywhere. Today, all you see is folks dressed in their red, white, and blue, including this cap. What's up with that? But I'm just chilling, streaming away here. Doing it for like the last hour. My buddy's in the theater. I told him I'll be at the outside theater doing the stream and chilling, and that's what I'm doing. To pull up my sleeve, not to show the guns, you know, but to get some of the farmer's tan off, because below the sleeve, got a good tan above it, white as Casper the Ghost. But yeah, we got an interesting rest of the year coming. Because now things shift into high gear, you know. Washington takes their summer break, but midterms are on the forefront. Starting Monday, starting now. The gas prices, they have to get lowered. Everything has to come down, and the Iranians That's it. Stomp them out. Enough BS. Enough of playing their bullshit games and procrastinating, and they think they can wait out Trump for another 2 years or try to take him out themselves, God forbid. Knock on synthetic boards. There's enough wood. I'll hit it up later. Get the real knock on the wood. But my point being, Iran has to be dealt with, and the nukes have to come out. They have to be extinguished. The regime has to be extinguished. You've got to get their people armed, and they need to be stepped on like the cockroach they are. Then you'll have peace in the Middle East. The prices will come down. I just believe you keep on hammering on the rad left, because outside of this, these, how do I say it, few pimples on America's ass, I'm talking about cities like New York, Boston, Chicago, Los Angeles, Seattle, on a smaller scale, Minneapolis, Portland, maybe formerly Washington, D.C., but things are getting crazy again there too. You know, Trump may take over D.C., but you get the deal. You know the rest of the rad left. Philadelphia, you know? Then you get those ancillary places, some I mentioned, like Providence. Look what's going on in Maine. These rad left, certainly most of the ones I mentioned that are just years on end, they are linchpin cities for the rad left, towns, some bigger metropolises than others, and you got problems there in these cities, right? But outside of that, you get what I just went through, this humongous country and all this wide open, vast space, and place in rural areas who do not care about the rad left and the causes they support. So there's a lot more bark than bite when it comes to the rad left. And when it comes to the rest of the country, which obviously put Trump back in office, I mean, there's a lot of conservatives and people have a whole different set of values, and they believe in what he's preaching. I'm one of them. I don't want to see the rad left. Look at this wackadoodle in New York, commie piece of trash. Mondami asked everyone to put down. In Yonkers, Mud Munitions in Yonkers, if he's still on, you know what's up. Mondami telling everyone put the air conditioning down to 78. They've had conditions higher than Phoenix, Arizona. This commie piece of trash, the nerve to tell people to lower their air to 78. What's the goat humper doing with his disgusting wife, anti-Semitic viral filth? I'm sure they're sitting in a cushy 69, 68, nice ice cold drinks, tell everyone else to suffer. They're not suffering. Let them go sit in the street for 24 hours straight. Maybe everyone will earn the respect they need. Oh my God, I almost got stung. When it comes to bees, I am a chicken. I was like, oh, thought I almost got stung right there. I saw the stinger. But anyway, hopefully he'll go away. I think he wanted a guest appear. But let me put this back down. But yeah, they can preach, tell others, sacrifice. Meanwhile, he's a rich kid whose parents own compounds, big houses, businesses in Uganda. He's never worked a real job in his life, and he's always been cool and air conditioned in the summer, and you can bet that he's been warmed in the winter. So I'm sure he's never had to suffer in the elements inside. Screw him, douche. Anyway, I'm live from Rushmore here on the RedDawn Media channel, broadcasting on this nation's 250th anniversary. It is the 4th of July, 2026. I'm enjoying it. Lots to see. Setting up the stage down there for some sort of show. I've been watching him move around stuff. and the curtains, just kind of dressing it up. So I'm sure they have a show coming later on with dignitaries and whatnot. As traffic, I'm wondering, getting out of here is just going to be crazy. So I'm going to do this. I'll get this call and I will end the stream. I'll be back.